Yeah, I mean, coming off a tough loss at Auburn, they're number one team in the country. Our guys thought responded well at the beginning of the second half, come back, cut it to two, but we kind of ran out of juice. Didn't think our defense was as good as it was against Baylor. Got a great opportunity again here tomorrow. I think this is Aaron told me the first time since Rutgers in '09 that the team's played three straight top five teams in the country. So, we're trying to get this one. If we get two out of those three, we'd be in a great spot. It's the first game of the second half of SEC play. So trying to improve some stuff from the first half of the SEC play to the second half. Our defense, main thing that needs to improve. 3-point shooting, needs to come up as well. But, I think we've had some good practices. I think our guys are ready. Last time we played in Coleman, we beat a great team in Baylor, and we've got another really good team in Kentucky coming in, and looking forward to our guys having a chance to compete against another top five team in the country Saturday.
Thank you, Coach. We'll go ahead and start with questions. Let's start with Austin Halen first.
Hey, Coach. I mean, just watching Kentucky this year, the Wildcats kind of go how Oscar Toshiba goes. So what's your kind of fear and what's your plan on limiting his inside rebounding and scoring?
Yeah, I mean, he's the best rebounder in the country. I think if he averaged 15 rebounds a game, it'd be the first time somebody in college basketball did that. If somebody told me correctly. So one of the best rebounders in the history of college basketball for that. So we're going to have to box him out best we can. We're going to have to get five guys in there to help rebound. It's not going to be a one-man job. Charles has a little bit of length on him, but Sheboy's obviously stronger, got a thicker base. I think Rojas has got some toughness to him. Noah Gurley does a decent job boxing out. It might be one of those deals where, the guy boxing him out doesn't get too many rebounds. Some other guys got to come in and get them, but we got to get five guys in there and do it. Great job with team rebounding. And then the other issue is, he rebounds on both ends. So we got to figure out a way to get some offensive boards too, because he gobbles up so many of their defensive rebounds. And offensive rebounding has been a big part of our offense here this season, with us not shooting as well as we'd like to. So we've got to get the rebounding figured out as a team, because he's the best rebounder in college basketball this year.
Charlie Potter, go ahead.
Hey, Coach. This is a little off topic, but just what was your reaction to the new the plans for the new arena, and how much input did you have in some of those?
Yeah, I mean, I'm super excited. When they interviewed me, they told me they were either going to remodel Coleman or build a new one. They showed me some designs of what the new arena may look like. And, I didn't have a whole lot of say in much of it, but engineers and administration, all that, is going to have a whole lot more say with that, with kind of the premium seating and all that. But I'm fired up. It's going to be, looks like it's going to be the best arena in the SEC. We've got a couple new ones here recently. Ole Miss is nice. We just played in one of the nicer ones in Auburn. That environment's the toughest environment we play in the SEC. So, ours is going to be just a little bit bigger than that. I think it's perfect. Get students right on the floor. If you look at it, student section is going to stretch baseline, entire sideline to the baseline. I think that's what it's supposed to be. That's what college sports is about. It's getting students right down on the floor, and then, still have plenty of premium seating for those that want it. But I'm fired up. I want an environment, and not to say anything bad about our fans, because they're doing an unbelievable job. It's just, when you start the fans 30 feet off the floor instead of right on the floor, and, and our arena kind of goes way out like this, and you get there and they're right on the floor and it's on top of you. It's just a different environment. So I'm fired up. It'll be a lot better place to create a home court advantage. And we've got a good one here, and we're doing well. We just beat Baylor here. We beat some tough teams here, but yeah, I'm more excited about what it's going to do for home court advantage and that. And then obviously with the fans, it's going to be a lot better amenities for the fans, but that doesn't really affect me too much.
Mike Rodak, go ahead.
You mentioned kind of the rarity of playing five or playing three teams that are top five in a row like this. Just how do you fight the mental fatigue factor with your players, just having to ramp up mentally for each of these games over and over again?
Yeah, that's a good question, because we've had a lot of, and we've got the number one strength of schedule in the country. We've had that. I'd like to say that didn't have anything to do with some of the losses we had to inferior opponents, but maybe it did with just having to be that on mentally every game. I think you got to be smart. We played Tuesday, game Wednesday off. We had a good practice Thursday. We went short today, trying to keep them and we went in the morning. So they've got, they don't play until tomorrow evening. So, and I think more of it is we just got to focus on what we have to do for like right now. Like if we're looking forward to the next week too, like it's just focus on the game at hand, focus on practice at hand, and just be smart with not overdoing it with them. But that, I mean, and you really got to look at it more as an opportunity than no, like this is an unbelievable opportunity to play 3 top 5 teams. I mean, people talk about building resumes in college basketball all the time. Well, we've got a pretty good resume right now. I think we're either number 1 or number 2 with top 25 wins. I think us and Marquette are right there. We've got, I think, 5 wins against top 15 in the AP top 25. I mean, our resume is good, and we get another unbelievable opportunity to get another win against a top 5 team. So I look at it more like we get to play these teams, not have to. And when you get to play them and you get that opportunity, we've stepped up and played pretty well in most of the big games we've had. And I think that's going to happen again tomorrow.
Max Donaldson, go ahead.
And kind of on that topic there, when you get to the tournament, you're going to have to play kind of a stretch like this. Sometimes we playing 3 really good teams. Just having that, having the experience of doing this, how will that help come tournament time?
Yeah, I think that's a great point because the stat I gave you earlier with Rutgers in 09 is first time since the regular, since then in the regular season. Well, if you're going to make a run in March, you're going to have to beat really good teams. There's only really good teams make the tournament. So, it's going to give us an advantage that maybe some other teams haven't had to play them back to back to back like that. So, I think in college basketball, it's a little different than football. Like football, 2 losses kind of put you out. You have no chance to make a, run at the national championship or a postseason run. Like in basketball, you can lose some games, learn from them, and move on. Well, as long as we're learning and getting better and moving on and playing well, here in February leading into March, like we're fine. I think this stretch prepares us more than it does for anybody else, or more than it does anybody else, because we're able to play this stretch, and most teams aren't able to play a stretch of games like we've been able to play.
Jerry Tipton, you're next.
Yeah, Nate, I wanted to ask you about Kentucky's got multiple weapons, as you know. If you concentrate your defense to stop one guy, it might create more of an opportunity for somebody else. What kind of a challenge does that present in trying to defend a team?
Yeah, I mean, you've got a great point. Last year Kentucky wasn't the Kentucky everybody's used to seeing. They did an unbelievable job getting their roster correct, if you will. They needed shooting. Shooting was an issue with them. They went out and maybe got the best shooter in the transfer portal, and Kellen Grady. They needed some toughness, and they went out and got the toughest guy in college basketball, arguably, and Sheboy. He's leading country in rebounding. They, needed a breakdown guy. They went out and got one of the best breakdown guys in the transfer portal in Wheeler. So they and then add that to the guys they already had that they retained, and Brooks and Mintz is shooting it really well off the bench. They've got a lot of really talented players, and they kind of did it, through the transfer portal, kept the guys they wanted to keep. And so with us, we're not able to, can't just say you're going to shut down Sheboy. I mean, you're going to trap, double him every time and leave Grady wide open for threes. That's going to be a problem. Well, you also got to keep Wheeler out of the paint. So it's going to have to be an overall team effort. We got to do a great job on the glass, trying to keep Sheboy off the glass. We got to keep Wheeler out of the paint. Can't give open shots. To Grady, Brooks is kind of doing a little bit of everything. Ty Washington is one of the best freshmen in the country. He does a little bit of everything. He plays the point. He plays off the ball. He's real efficient. He's playing well. So they've got a great starting group, and then they bring in, they've got guys coming off the bench that would start for most teams in the country. So they're deep. There's a reason they're top 5 in the country. There's a reason they went into Kansas. Most people don't go into the Fog and beat Kansas like they beat them. I mean, they beat them soundly. They were clearly a better team. You don't do that without a roster that's one of the best in the country, and we understand that. We're going to have to play really well tomorrow.
Okay, we got 2 more questions left in the queue, so we'll finish with these 2. Let's start with Katie Wyndham first.
Coach, you mentioned that going up against a good rebounding team like Kentucky, it's going to take all 5 guys, on the floor rebounding at the same time. But what maybe are you kind of hoping to see out of your bigs tomorrow in this matchup?
I don't know that any one of our bigs going to out rebound Sheboy. I mean, he's got multiple games over 20 rebounds. He's averaging 15. Those are ridiculous numbers. What we need to see him do is battle, fight. I mean, if you watched him play the Vanderbilt game, I thought Vanderbilt bigs did a really good job, not backing down, staying in there, fighting with them, being tough. Our guys are going to have to do that, and then we're going to have our guards come in and help rebound the ball. Like, we've got athletic guards that are quick to the ball. They're going to have to get it, but our bigs are just going to have to battle, fight, box them out, try to keep them off the glass, and just do the best that they can. But we're not asking for our bigs to be perfect. I mean, what are we asking for Sheboy to get 0 offensive rebounds? Like, that's not going to happen. There's going to be some offensive rebounds he gets because he goes so hard, and we're going to be out of position. And, we had to help. But the other thing is, we talk about what our bigs need to do. Our guards have almost as much to do with as our bigs. When our guards get beat off the dribble and our bigs have to help, like, now we've got issues. Now we got a guard box out Sheboy. That's a major problem. Like, we can't be getting beat off the dribble very often. And it's a challenge because Wheeler's one of the best blow by guys in the country. So we got to do an unbelievable job on Wheeler so that our bigs are not having to help and then opening up, rebounding opportunities for Sheboy on the offensive end.
All right, we'll finish up with Charlie Potter.
Coach Cal made it sound like they were going to be able to get out of Lexington, but have you been able to communicate with him given the weather? Is everything still, I guess, on plan?
Yeah, I haven't talked to him personally, but our administration's talked to theirs and our operations people with theirs, and we don't anticipate any issues. We anticipate them being here for the game. So that the latest I got is that they'll be here. So let me one more thing, because I know I only got the one question about the new arena. I think for our fans, this is a huge day, and I think it's. I just want to say thanks to Board of Trustees and Dr. Bell and Greg and Chancellor St. John, because it's huge in a college basketball environment to have one of these new arenas that you're seeing other teams in our league with the home court advantage that they have. And so hopefully within a few years here, like, we're playing in one of those and we can generate the best home court advantage in our league. Cause I think, there's other really nice venues, but I think they've got the idea of what it takes to create a home court advantage. So I just, this is our 3rd year here. I didn't expect it to be done, immediately, but when they told me they were going to get it done, I think Greg's one of the best ADs in the country. And when he says he's going to get it done, he gets it done. And administration, obviously this is phase 1 and they got to go through a bunch of steps to get it there, but it's got us all fired up. The coaching staff's really excited about it. And our fan base should be. Our current players may not get to play in it because they'll be gone by then, but they can come back to an unbelievable environment and support their team when they come back. So the whole program is really, this is a big day for Alabama basketball today.
Thank you, Coach. Appreciate it.